So here I am preparing my student for the state board haircut. So clearly she has already established her guideline. We have 4 points of origin, 1 being in the front, 2 on the sides, and 1 in the back. Okay, so she's established her guideline. At this point, she has already secured the perimeter, removing 1 inch around the perimeter. Okay, so now she's gonna go on to her first section. Now, with the state board, we're in Texas. For those of you who may be looking at this video, that will be on YouTube. So you definitely want to make sure that you are referencing your PSI packet because each state may have a different requirement. So I always encourage the students to follow up with your state guidelines as we are in Texas. So we're gonna basically do a 180 cut. It doesn't matter, you can do a 90 or 180. They just wanna know that you are removing 1 inch throughout the entire haircut. So in Texas, they're not necessarily being strict about how you do it. They just want you to do it. So in this case, she's, as you can see, she's pulling it straight out at a 90 degree. And you can see she has established her guideline from the perimeter. And it's very important to note that as you are making your sections, that you use clean sections. You pulling the hair straight out, maintaining the control of the cut. If you lose your guide, make sure you go back and find it. Don't keep cutting. If you lose your guide, go back, find the guide, and resume. So I would always tell the students, we're gonna work in reverse. And when I say work in reverse, that just essentially means go back and find your guide. Then you proceed forward. So now she's just going straight up. Okay, that section is done. So she's gonna take a section of the previous cut section. This is a very easy way to do this cut. I actually like to teach my students this way. It's easy. You don't have to go through a lot of different channels to execute. I believe in teaching a system that's easy to remember, but also easy to see. So the goal of this cut is to make sure you have all of your angles and make sure that everything is even. And she's maintaining control. So at this point, she's going straight up to blend. So pretty much this section is done.
Nope.
Oh, she has one more section. Yeah. We're not rushing. That's on me. That's my fault. So what she's doing, she's just checking. She's checking her angles, making sure that everything is where it needs to be. And remember, take your time when you're doing this. You have 42 minutes, so there's no need to rush. It's very important to practice to make sure that you're able to maintain control. You're moving from one quadrant to the other. And the more you practice, the more confident you will be when it's time to take your Stateboard exam. And as we know, you know, if you practice on the day of the test, you're not going to be as nervous because you're going to be able to do this just effortlessly, which is what we want. So here you can see she's bridging everything together up until one point. Very good, Alyssa.
Thank you.
She's taking her time.
Last section.
And so this is her last section. And so it's important to take a slice of the previous guide so that you'll know that your angles are straight and everything will blend. If you are in the Houston area, I offer mobile training or tutoring for preparation Stateboard prep. So the link will be in the description. So if you would like to reach out to me, or you can send me a DM if this is on Instagram, and I would love to get you on board so that you can pass your Stateboard test. I am a licensed educator. I've been teaching for almost 8 years now, and I love it. Okay. And so this section is done. We're going to go ahead and demonstrate this first quadrant here, this front quadrant, so that I can, for demonstration purposes for the video. So we'll go through this last section for the video, and obviously it's just a repeat on the other side. So what you've done for the right section, you're going to just basically do the same for the left side, and it's really simple. So as you can see, she's just taking a section of that guide from that last section. So you're going to make a vertical line, and you're just going straight up 90 degrees. That's okay. And that's okay. She dropped the comb on the table, and that's fine. She can pick it back up at this point. I encourage you all to take an extra comb to Stateboard, because if she would have dropped that comb on the floor, she does not need to pick it up. Well, she can pick it up, but she needs to discard it and place it in the trash at that point, bag, and re-sanitize your hands, of course, and then just grab a new comb should that happen. But because it landed on the table, she was fine to continue to use it. So I'm kind of glad that happened. So as you can see, she's just cutting to the guide. Remember, take your time. You have 42 minutes. And the proctor will indicate you, they will indicate to you when you reach the midpoint. And they would say, okay, you know, you have 22 minutes remaining.
I'm kind of angling, so it's not too short.
That's fine. That's good to do it like that. So she's just cutting it on an angle so that she won't remove too much of the front, taken away from that perimeter line. And that's right. That's the right decision. So can you see she's maintaining her control, and she's keeping everything is nice and neat. And she's combing all of that hair together up to the guides. And you can see the guide. students, if you do this particular, if you use this demonstration that we're doing, this is a great way to execute this haircut for the Stateboard. The students would always tell me, Miss B, this is the easy way to do it. And this is just the way I teach it. And the student, Alyssa, do you think this is a great way to execute this cut?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's easy. You're maintaining control. And remember, if you lose your guide, sometimes if the hair is dense or thick, you have to take smaller sections because you can't see through the guide. So if that happens on a mannequin, if you have a mannequin hair that's really, really thick, then you're going to have to take smaller sections. But if you have a mannequin that has like very fine hair, then you can take larger sections. And then you can actually, so she's just cross-checking. So she's cross-checking horizontally. Okay. So if you cut vertically, then you cross-check horizontal. If you cut horizontal, then you cross-check vertical. So always remember that. And guys, these videos are meant to, you know, they're not perfect, but it's a way to give you something to gauge. So obviously, if you are in school, you know, I'm going to encourage you to listen to your instructor. But, you know, again, I have some students who have posted on my YouTube channel and they tell me, oh, Miss Bridget, you know, thank you for your videos, especially my permanent wave video. That one, it's done really well. And if you're struggling with how to section, you can definitely go check that video out as well. Very good. And you see she's taking her time, pulling it straight up to that guide.
Trying to get my hair in there.
Good. All right, and so these two sections are complete. Okay, so thank you. And so you're just going to duplicate the same procedure on the other side. All right, thank you.